All right, let's talk about trying to feed the whole family. It can be a struggle. You want to make sure that the food is full of nutrients, but you also need to make sure that everybody's going to eat it.
Right.
Adding more beef to your diet can really help. 1 3-ounce serving of beef provides 10 essential nutrients, including something like iron. I'm always low on iron whenever I'm pregnant.
It's important.
Protein and zinc. I am not pregnant now, though, just to be clear.
Just make it clear right there. So we've got recipes, though, with that are packed with these nutrients. They're also kid-friendly. We've got Ashley Kramer here from the Minnesota Beef Council, and always so good to see you, Ashley. Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
All right, listen, these look really great, and I do think a lot of it, if you are trying like I am with my kids to make sure that they're not constantly saying I'm hungry. If I'm like thinking protein, then it makes a big difference. Otherwise, it's like everybody always wants a freaking snack.
Right, so if you have the good satiety in the meal, hopefully it limits those snack requests later.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Totally. Okay, so these are all really simple. Where do you want to start? Down here?
Yep, so we're going to start with this recipe. This is a ground beef and pasta skillet primavera is what it's called. This one is one of your one-pot dishes, so
Perfect.
less dishes to do later.
Yeah.
This one has a rotini noodle, which I also like for a variety of ages because if you've got little kids and they can pick it up versus like a spaghetti noodle, right?
Super
If you've got
smart.
kids that
Good
aren't
idea.
using silverware yet.
Yeah.
So in a pot, you're going to brown your ground beef.
Yep.
And then you're going to add in just all these other ingredients that you see. So we have some zucchini, some squash, a can of beef broth, and then a can of tomatoes, and some Italian seasoning as well. And that's it. It's very simple, which is great because then it caters to kids who are maybe a bit of a picky eater and they don't like a variety of taste, or they're kind of exploring those different tastes too, so they can really play with that.
It's also hearty enough for Dad, too.
I know.
It's like, okay, yeah, there's some meat in there, there's
Yes.
pasta in there.
Talk to us about this plate that you did
Yeah.
here, though, because this is interesting, and I think this is really helpful when you're looking at like exposing your kids, because frankly, like most kids are probably going to go, oh, pasta, meat, delicious. The vegetables is what gets a little bit tricky.
Yeah, so this option, you can kind of separate it out if you'd like. If you've got kids who are maybe still exploring some of these new tastes.
Yeah.
So making sure that they get their protein, their carb, their fruit, and their veggies. So all of it's just one combined meal, but if you want to space it out like that too for your kids who are maybe younger and exploring, that works great.
Or
sounds
maybe
great.
they're
Let's
just
give this a try.
picky and they
Yes.
don't like their food touching, like applesauce and
Yes,
peas. Forget
absolutely.
that.
I
I'm
know.
not eating it if
Well,
my
that is-
applesauce and peas are touching.
That's fair, though. I mean, that's an
Yeah.
offensive combination.
Oh
like,
my
So
you
yeah,
gosh,
can't
this
do
is.
that.
do
I
it.
think this is a great meal, especially like Elizabeth. I know you have kids of all ages as well, so it can be enjoyed by the entire family. And I know you mentioned as well that if you're low on iron, the great thing is zucchini and squash are actually high in vitamin C. Now, vitamin C helps you to better absorb iron when you eat them together.
No way.
Yes, way. So it'll actually boost your iron levels even more with the iron that's found in the beef.
Oh, I
See?
love this.
What a
Listen, the
great-
only thing
what
I
a
would do
great
is hit this with some red pepper flakes. Other
Yep,
than
and
that,
you
it's
can
good to
season
go.
it well. You can do some salt,
totally do
pepper,
it.
any
Change it around a
seasoning
little
you'd like.
bit.
yeah.
Next up, enchiladas.
Yeah,
Oh.
so this one is an enchilada casserole. This one was created in partnership with our friend Emily Demon at My Everyday Table.
We love Emily.
Yes, I know she's been on the show before. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have you guys help create it just to show how simple it is.
Yeah.
Oh, good, good. We can do it.
It's very simple. Careful with this, it might get a little messy here. So
All
this
right.
is a mild enchilada sauce. You're going to just pour a little bit of that on the bottom. Not all of it, just maybe about half of it.
Like, do you want to go like that?
Yeah, just enough so it covers the bottom.
Okay, sorry guys. Here, I'll set this on my
But there you
paper
go.
There you
so
go.
that I don't make a mess of this lovely tablecloth.
And then the next ingredient is tortilla. These are corn tortillas because that's typically what's found in enchiladas, but you could also use flour tortillas.
So do you just lay these?
Yep, just kind of lay them flat so it covers the bottom. Typically,
Oh.
I use about 5 with a pan this size. So it covers the bottom. And then the next layer is going to be black refried black beans.
Yeah, that's
And you just
great.
kind of layer that on top of those tortillas.
Okay,
get it
do you want
spread
all
out.
of it?
About half again.
About half,
Because
'cause
we're going to do, it would be multiple layers. We're going to
Okay.
layer it.
Yeah.
And then you can take the beef mixture there. We just browned some beef with onions and red pepper, green pepper.
Okay.
Yep.
I would kind of get in there a little more, but we're going to just
Yeah.
go
Okay.
with it.
There you go. And then you
know,
just spread it all in there.
If I was doing this, Ashley, at home, I would take 2 of these little square pans and I would make a second one and pop it in the freezer.
Oh,
There you go.
smart.
And
You know?
actually, yep. So she recommends on her website that that's a great recipe to freeze.
Oh, she
Oh,
said
yeah.
that.
yeah, right
Oh,
in the
good.
recipe it says
Okay.
that. So great idea.
Fabulous.
And then the last step is to just put some cheese on there.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yes, because this is America.
Load it up.
Yes. And
Yeah.
then you would just repeat that process.
Okay.
More of this.
Yep. So
You
can
know,
do
I
more
have
of
to
that.
tell you,
You
like,
can-
Yeah, I
layering
think
it on there.
Yeah, you can probably
More?
do a whole
Oh,
bunch.
maybe I just
would
pour it
just
on.
go for
And then
it.
you just put it in the oven for about 30 minutes at 375 degrees, and it comes out super bubbly, cheesy, and then you can top it with anything you'd like. I decided to put some sour cream, shredded lettuce, diced tomatoes on there, but you can really do anything of your choice, or even some hot sauce.
Wait, this is a solid
That is-
portion.
One for each of you.
This is-
you know.
The kids, this is all the kids can eat on this,
is
I
so
think.
good.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I gotta get a
It
bite.
almost looks like lasagna.
Yeah, so it does kind of resemble a lasagna, but it is more simple than having to roll up enchiladas. It's just a
Yeah.
little more simple just to layer it like that.
It's a lot easier
nice.
than rolling it up, and you don't mess up the flavor at all. And what I kind of love even better than enchiladas, dare I say, though, is that it's like you get the layer of the flavor all the way through in a bite versus just like it kind of all squishes together. That's delicious. My
really
mom
good.
would make enchiladas when I was a kid. My mom is from Texas, so we had Tex-Mex food
Oh,
all
there
the
you
time.
go.
Sure.
That I'm like transported to 7965 Hallmark
She
Way.
would love it, yeah. I love that.
That was my address.
I was like, I was thinking it was your zip code, and I was like, that's
It was
not it.
55124.
Oh, wow.
Zip
Oh, there
code.
you go.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
All
Our phone
right.
number was 4313815.
You have good memory for that.
Okay,
Well.
what's
All right.
happening over here?
Okay, so these are popcorn steak bites. This utilizes
so
a
great.
cube steak. So now cube steak is simply steak that has been mechanically tenderized, or it's kind of rolled by the butcher. Now there's nothing added to it; it's just mechanically tenderized, so that
Yeah.
it's maybe a little more tender.
It's one of Paul's favorite things.
It is. If you
Yeah.
can't find it, ask them to tenderize
Yeah,
it
so you
for
can actually just
They'll
take
do
a
it.
cut out of
Yeah.
the fridge section and ask them to tenderize it. So you cut it into
Sorry,
to
you got it?
pieces,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
do your standard breading process. We actually breaded with flour, and then you do the egg wash, and then we did a potato chip crushed up.
Oh, potato chips.
And then you
How
can do
smart.
your dipping sauces of choice. And these are great for kids to just grab and go and bite.
Okay. That's very fun.
There was a place I grew up. It was called Ted's, and they called these steak fingers.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
And so, and it was just like this.
Do you remember the zip code of that place or no?
28105
Okay,
Matthews,
wow.
North Carolina.
Good
You're
memory.
welcome.
Yes. Ashley, you are amazing. These are all so great. You can find all of Ashley's recipes from today on TwinCitiesLive.com. And for more information about the Minnesota Beef Council, including meal planning inspiration, visit mnbeef.org. I often scroll through for recipe ideas.
It's such a good way to
really
find
great.
them, and quick too. All of this stuff can be made so quickly. as we
Steak
did tonight.
bites,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know.